During World War I, when field telephones failed and telegraph wires were cut, armies turned to one of the oldest forms of messaging on Earth: birds. This is the story of the most famous pigeon in military history, and the surprising truth behind his legend. Field telephones and telegraph lines were often useless on the World War I battlefield. They required infrastructure that simply didn't exist in the chaos of the front lines. They also required laying physical wires, which were slow to set up and easily cut by the enemy. So armies fell back on a much older technology: homing pigeons, trained to fly home no matter what was happening around them. This wasn't a niche backup plan. Over the course of the war, more than 200,000 pigeons were used by various forces, and the U.S. Army Signal Corps alone used roughly 600 birds. Flying a message wasn't safe. German machine gunners specifically trained to spot and shoot down enemy pigeons, and if a bird carrying a message was shot down, that message could fall straight into enemy hands. In October 1918, around 550 American soldiers became trapped behind German lines in the Argonne Forest, surrounded and cut off from supplies and reinforcements. Then, disaster within disaster, American artillery began accidentally shelling their own trapped men. With men dying from their own side shells, a message was sent giving their exact position, pleading for the barrage to stop. The pigeon carrying it, Cher Ami, was shot through the chest and lost most of a leg, but still managed to fly roughly 25 miles back to base. Here's what almost nobody knows. Historians digging into the archives found that the friendly fire shelling had actually already stopped about 5 minutes before Cher Ami even made it home. A 2021 investigation concluded there's nothing definitively linking Cher Ami specifically to saving the lost battalion. The U.S. Army simply attached him to that story afterward to promote the Signal Corps pigeon program. Whatever the precise truth of that day in the Argonne, Cher Ami was awarded France's highest military honor, the Croix de Guerre, and grateful soldiers built him a small wooden leg to replace the one he'd lost. He retired to a pigeon loft in Washington, D.C., before dying in 1919 from his wartime wounds. Cher Ami's body was preserved and is still on display today at the Smithsonian's National Museum of American History. A small, taxidermied reminder of just how desperate communication had become in the world's first truly industrial war. Real heroism and a little bit of legend. Sometimes the myth outlives the facts, but the story still earns its place in history. If you enjoyed this story, please like and subscribe for more from Signal History.